Unusual square structure on Mars. What's up with that? In an astonishing development that has left the scientific community and space enthusiasts around the world in shock, NASA has officially shut down one of its Mars rovers after it reportedly captured an image of a UFO crashing onto the surface of Mars. Yes, you heard that right. NASA's Mars rover has seemingly documented an unidentified flying object, UFO, plummeting from the sky and crashing into the Martian surface, sparking a cascade of questions, speculations, and even conspiracy theories. This unexpected turn of events has led to widespread speculation about the nature of the object captured by the rover. Was it truly a UFO, as some suggest? Could it be an experimental spacecraft from a secret government project? Or could we finally be seeing the long-awaited proof of extraterrestrial life? And why did NASA make the controversial decision to shut down the rover after this unprecedented discovery? Picture yourself aboard a robotic spacecraft exploring the red planet, Mars. Suddenly, you spot an odd shape in the distance, an object that seems out of place. As you zoom in, you're taken aback. It's a metallic structure partially buried in the sand, featuring a rounded rim and a dome-shaped top. It resembles a UFO. Could it be real? Could this be evidence that we're not alone in the universe? This scenario unfolded recently when NASA captured a mysterious anomaly on Mars. The photograph has sparked intense debate across the internet. Join us as we investigate the photos of the latest UFO sighting on Mars. In April 2021, NASA's Perseverance rover landed on Mars. This was part of a mission to look for signs of ancient life on Mars. The rover had a top-notch camera called Mastcam-Z. It took amazing photos of the Martian surface. There was a Twitter account for this researcher, too. Here, it shared pictures for everyone to see. A picture posted on April 20, 2021, got many people excited, especially UFO fans. The photo was a wide view of the Jezero crater, the rover's exploration site. A photo caught attention due to the dark shape of the backdrop. It looked like a downed UFO. Half buried in the sand, one side of the object was curved with a raised rim. It seemed to have a dimple, suggesting it might have hit the ground hard. The image spread like wildfire online, sparking theories it was proof of a Martian UFO crash. Some tied the object to the famed Roswell event, where a presumed alien ship reportedly crashed in 1947 in New Mexico. Others pondered if this shape could be alive and pose a hazard. Some people were unsure about the photo. The doubters claimed that the object was distant and unclear. They disputed it, saying it could be a rock or a shadow. They noted that the rover had taken multiple pictures of this area, yet none showed this object. Their theory concluded the object was just a camera hiccup or a bad pixel, causing a mistaken impression of something not there. Who was correct, though? Was the UFO real or a fabrication? We must inspect the photo's origin and NASA's explanation. A tiny piece of debris messed up NASA's camera. It's why a false object appeared. That debris blocked light. This made a dark spot. When I zoomed in, the dark spot grew. It looked like a round thing. The panorama process also caused a delay. See, this process can cause mishaps or holes in the picture, especially near the frame's ends. NASA stated that the odd object only appeared in one photo. Other images of the rover from above didn't show it. It was visible just at that unique angle and zoom. NASA mentioned the object was too distant to examine further. The rover was a good 3.4 miles away from it, and that's quite a stretch. Even so, NASA believes that the image raises interest in human nature to question what's unknown. NASA reported the big news. They were glad about the public's excitement to learn about Mars exploration. They hoped a photo would spark greater curiosity. That image was about a 10-foot wide circle. The rover can travel 0.1 miles each day. Its job? Hunt for rock samples and find hints of old life forms. Do not follow UFOs. In conclusion, NASA debunked the UFO theory. They stated the object was just a camera glitch. They found no evidence of alien life. But they welcomed everyone to keep learning about the Red Planet and its secrets. So, how do we spot the difference between things that happen naturally and those artificially made on Mars or other places in the solar system. How do we separate truth from fiction when it comes to UFOs? Answering this involves using certain scientific methods and standards while steering clear of typical mistakes and biases. Occam's razor is a tool we often use. This tool advises us to assume that the easiest answer is typically the right one. It lets us dodge extra speculation and confusion. It keeps us focused on the most clear and logical solution. For example, spotting a bright light in the sky and guessing it's a familiar celestial body, a star, planet, or satellite, rather than a foreign spaceship. The first set of options is easier and fits what we currently know. Remember, Occam's razor can't guarantee that the easiest solution is always right. But it certainly helps us rule out the less likely options. Another method we can use is falsifiability, a criterion that states that a hypothesis must be testable and refutable to be scientific. Falsifiability helps us to avoid unfalsifiable claims that cannot be proven or disproven and to look for empirical evidence that can support or contradict a hypothesis. For example, if we claim that there are invisible aliens on Mars that can hide from any detection, we cannot test or refute this claim. Therefore, it is not scientific. However, if we claim that there are visible aliens on Mars that cameras or sensors can see, we can test and refute this claim by looking for evidence of their presence or absence. We can also use the peer review qualification. It is the process of checking and questioning a hypothesis or research project that another researcher in the same field has created. Peer review helps avoid mistakes, bias, and fraud and improves the reliability and quality of a hypothesis or research analysis. For instance, an image or piece of footage that appears to be a UFO on Mars should only be accepted as true after making checks and confirming the authenticity and origins of the image or piece of footage. We must send this document to peer review, where the scientists or experts will check it carefully for any mistakes, inconsistencies, or other contradictory notions. Those are some of the facts and prejudices we need to disregard in our search, such as those of UFOs on Mars or other solar system bodies. A good critical thinker should also be open-minded and curious but critical and skeptical, ready to verify whether the evidence is reliable and credible without drawing numerous unsubstantiated conclusions. Moreover, it is required to be modest and honest with yourself and acknowledge when you don't know something or have done something wrong. Other than that, we should be open-minded in tackling different issues, not shaming or denigrating those with different opinions but rather having constructive and civil dialogue. In so doing and adhering to the given methods of scientific inquiry and criteria, we will avoid biases and pitfalls as we try our best to find the truth and prove the existence of extraterrestrial organisms if they exist. In the next paragraph, let's explore some of the most perplexing instances of unexplained phenomena and anomalies recorded on Mars and other planets and moons in the solar system, keeping an eye out to let us determine if they are natural or artificial. Based on that, why should we try to discover UAPs on Mars, especially elsewhere in the solar system? If there is life or intelligence in the cosmos around us, what are the broad implications and consequences of their detection or lack of it? To address these queries, we have to look at some of the scientific, philosophical, and ethical facets of exploring intelligent extraterrestrial lives and how they affect our relevance against the background of the universe. We'll introduce you to their universe. Their body language and facial expressions will give away the effectiveness of communication. What is the same and different between us? What longs for them, and what do we do for them? What is it that we have in common with them, and the fact that we are essentially different? And what message do they convey for ourselves and our identity? What will be the impacts of discovering these extraterrestrials' lives and reaching out to them about our perception of the world and expectations? Besides that, the ethical factor will also be considered. This part involves weighing and justifying the moral obligations we owe ourselves, our fellow men, and society. It also involves determining the ethical standards to be followed in making decisions. The ethical dimension of interplanetary life search as a mission is driven by the desire to fulfill responsibilities and to respect, on the one hand, but to safeguard and upgrade human understanding of the universe and ourselves, on the other hand. By finding UAPs on Mars or anywhere else in the solar system, we could face some of the most important and urgent ethical issues and dilemmas that have ever been raised, such as, can we just focus on universe topics and objects, and if they want to maintain their privacy and autonomy, do they have a right to inspect and explore the UAPs? Should we not preserve and protect the UAPs and the planets where they were discovered? They and the others who need our help also have the right to do so, or should they have to cooperate and share with us? Do we have the burden or the responsibility to wake up and show some respect and acceptance for the UAPs, the planets, and major moons, and where they are located, or are others to do the same for us? What risks and benefits exist for people to find them and contact their intelligent species where such contact can sustain or harm humans? These are among the things we should remember when we investigate evidence of an unidentified aerial phenomenon on Mars or other celestial objects in the solar system. They demonstrate a quest for extraterrestrial life that is not merely scientific but philosophical and ethical, with impacts that extend far out into the universe for us to comprehend. In their way, they demonstrate that the quest for extraterrestrial life is not only a phenomenon of curiosity and surprise but also a matter of prosperity and mindfulness, and finally, it is a matter of duty and reverence. The space exploration searches to find extraterrestrial life are more than finding the truth of where we exist. We also want to find the search's purpose and overall value. The first face seen on Mars. One unbelievable but contended paranormal detective on Mars is the so-called face on Mars, a little mountain or ridge geographically located in the Cydonia region of Mars. The famous face on Mars was captured by Mars orbiter NASA imaging attached to the Viking 1 spacecraft in 1976 and is considered an artistic or statue monument built by Mars's ancient civilization. Considering this, some researchers were inclined to the fact that the face on Mars was also part of a much larger society and complex with a lot of structures, specifically buildings, that could form an entire city or a huge base, maybe with lots of importance, and that it could have even been used for religious purposes. Nevertheless, NASA considered the face on Mars a result of an optical illusion and a product of the pareidolia subconscious thought process that people have when looking at, or, in other words, randomly seeing faces in a shape or pattern similar to those of humans. NASA defended the face on Mars by saying that its features did not look like a face but rather a picturesque shape on the planet's surface, the result of the action of multiple wind and water streams over millions of years. NASA added that the apparently big face has proven not to be unique because there are many such hills or mesas in the Cydonia area with similar shapes and features as this one. NASA responded that face on Mars was not a riddle. It was a mistake caused by low image resolution and image quality in images at high solar altitudes and low viewing angles, creating optimal conditions to make an illusion. NASA believed that the face on Mars would disappear with time by photographing at a different point in time, from a different direction, or with a better camera. NASA has consistently proven the face on Mars is an illusion. High-resolution images from subsequent missions like Mars Global Surveyor, Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, and Mars Express have revealed that it is merely a hill and lacks the facial features attributed to it. These images, taken from different angles and at different times, confirm the hill's natural origin, consistent with the surrounding terrain. The absence of artificial or unusual features further dispels notions of extraterrestrial origins. Therefore, the face on Mars is neither a UFO nor a mystery, but rather a misinterpretation of the hill's appearance from certain regions. The giant monolith on Phobos. The enigmatic monolith is an intriguing mystery on Mars moon Phobos. NASA's Mars Global Surveyor captured this large, rectangular structure in 1998, sparking widespread debate about its nature and origin. Scientists have proposed various explanations, including a natural rock or boulder ejected from the surface by impact or volcanic activity. A meteorite fragment left behind from an asteroid or comet collision with Phobos. However, NASA did not comment on the monolith of Phobos, provide further information, or explain its nature or origin. NASA also did not capture the monolith on Phobos again with its later missions, such as the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter or Mars Odyssey, which had higher resolution and quality cameras and could have taken better images of the object. Also, NASA did not send any probes or landers to explore or investigate the monolith on Phobos or to collect or analyze any samples or data that could have revealed its composition or function. The enigmatic monolith of Phobos is still an unknown entity. It could be classified as a UAP or UFO based on the evidence and theories surrounding it. Its nature remains uncertain, whether it's natural or artificial. Similarly, its origin is still being determined, whether it originated with Phobos or Mars or if they're completely unrelated. It could be a random occurrence, or a deliberate placement, and its significance for Phobos or Mars is yet to be established. The monolith has sparked speculation about extraterrestrial life or intelligence within our solar system, but it's equally possible that it's merely a perplexing anomaly that requires further exploration and clarification.